This week, the budget will be set for the next financial year in East Sussex. The County Council, which is currently under Conservative control, is looking at cutting services to make ends meet. However, the opposition Liberal Democrats believe there is another way to balance the books without seeing frontline services suffer.
Nobody would deny that these are very difficult times for local government. What we've seen is national government cut the grant to local authorities every year, year on year, since 2010. That's meant that local authorities throughout the country have been cutting local services, and only this week we've heard about Northamptonshire going into special measures. Here in East Sussex, life is grim. The Conservative-controlled East Sussex County Council are proposing drastic cuts across the board. They're cutting services to the elderly. They're looking to close 2 homes, Furwood House and Milton Grange. They're looking to close 7 libraries and cut money for children with special educational needs. In fact, about the only thing that's not going to be cut in East Sussex is the grass. That isn't something that we as Liberal Democrats can stop completely. Nobody's going to pretend that all those cuts can be saved. But there is another way of doing things, and that's what we're going to be proposing to the County Council on Tuesday. We think there's a need for a major transformation programme that will reduce the number of highly paid staff and put money into frontline services. There are also things that we can do in terms of treasury management that free money up to keep the frontline services running. So what do I mean when I talk about a transformation programme? If you look at East Sussex at the moment, the current model is just not sustainable. There are so many senior and middle managers, and people at the sharp end of services are not empowered to make decisions. It's possible to reduce that structure, so you put the money into frontline services. You empower people who are working with the community to make the day-to-day decisions, and you reduce the number of managerial staff within the County Council. That's the only way that I believe that we can continue to run services efficiently and effectively in this county.
The proposed cuts by East Sussex County Council to services for adult social care are a travesty. The number of people who will be affected in the communities by this stretches across East Sussex. I'm very concerned about the closure of Furwood House and Milton Grange, as both these establishments provide good quality services that enable people to live in the community. If these services are cut, what we'll find is that people will go into hospital much quicker, people will be delayed with their discharge, and their concerns about their care will be heightened.
The Conservatives at County Hall say closing these 2 care homes in Eastbourne would save over £1 million. However, a petition against the move has already seen more than 7,000 people support it on change.org. For the Liberal Democrats, the proposed cuts have not been properly thought out.
I've asked for that information about basic financial planning. I've been told that it's not available, that they don't have the staff to be able to provide me with that. How can you plan for the future when you don't have the information needed to make really important decisions?
I guess that a major concern for me is that the Conservative-controlled council don't have a plan going forward, and they're looking in their medium-term forecast to cut another £17 million next year. That's all going to come from service provision unless they actually wake up to the fact that transformation is essential.
East Sussex County Council are due to vote on this year's budget on Tuesday, the 6th of February.